What's up, guys? Welcome to Sports Talk 101. In today's video, we'll do some more preview predictions today. Look at college football today. We'll look at the Big Ten, and we'll look at the Oregon Ducks of the Big Ten. News coming Big Ten. Let's talk about the Oregon Ducks. Last year, Dan Lanning and company, great season. Made the playoffs. Of course, lost to Ohio State 13-1. Went undefeated last year. Go win the Big Ten and lose to Ohio State in the first, the Rose Bowl game. Great season last year for Dan Lanning and company of Oregon over in Eugene. I like Dan Lanning. He's a good coach. One of the best coach. He does a really good job at Oregon. This team recruits really well and does a really good job. Top 10 team, top 5 team in recruiting, and top 5 team in the transporter, depending on give year. But I like Oregon. They're a really good team. They're one of the best new teamers to come to the Big Ten. Of course, got Ohio State, Penn State, Michigan, the three lead teams. Penn State Big Ten's always been Oregon. So it's been Ohio State, Michigan, Penn State. These three teams dominating the Big Ten for most years. Once in a while, you get a team like Indiana, Michigan State, Illinois, Maryland, Rutgers, Minnesota, Wisconsin. It'll sort of pop up and win the Big Ten, push or do well in the Big Ten. That's once in a while. That's like a weird thing. But then eventually, you see teams like Michigan, Ohio State, Penn State, and even Oregon that just win the Big Ten every other year or make the playoff in 7 years or in the case most years. So hats up to Dan Lanning and company. I do like Oregon. Like I said, third in overall recruiting and fifth in transfer portal. 16th enrollees, 2 5-star, a bunch of 4-star and 3 stars. They got 3-letter tent. The big thing is 11 transfers. They get James Ferguson, the Reynolds, the punter from Boise State. Jaden Kennedy, the corner from Ole Miss. You get Mel Pregan, the lineman from South Carolina. So like a USC. Mike Hughes, the running back from Tulane. Malik Benson, the wide receiver from Florida State. Bail Alexander. Why does that name familiar? Because he's a former Georgia player. The defensive lineman started his career at Georgia, went to play for Lane Kiffin. He's a good defensive lineman. Don't get me wrong. But the defensive lineman from USC, you got Isaiah Wood, the offensive tackle from Nevada. You got Jamari Johnson, the tight end. You get him from Louisville. You get Alex Hockey, the offensive tackle from Texas State. You get and Turin Johnson, corner from Northwestern, and Dylan Timon, the safety from Purdue. Recruiting is about the best that Lane does. I like it. I like what Oregon playing, And what Dan Lanning, he's really good job at who was the head coach of Maryland, Miami of Florida, come to Oregon, takes over. Former defensive coordinator for Georgia, Kirby Smart. He's a good coach. We know he's a really good defensive coordinator. The head coach job as a head coach, and does a phenomenal job at Oregon. I really am pleased to see the results. When I look at the odds, right now the win total is at 10.5. 10.5 is the win total for the Oregon Ducks. I'm thinking over. This team is capable of going 11-1 to make the playoffs. I feel like this team's going to make the Big Ten championship. Maybe even win back-to-back and maybe even make the playoffs. So Um, so take a look at the schedule. When you go schedule, I'm gonna go. We'll give game by game, and we'll give you a winner and a loser. So like I said it. All right, look at the schedule. All right, to start things off with the schedule. When I look at the schedule, let's look at what the bye weeks are. Where's the road games? Where's the conference game, non-con games, at home, away, so that kind of situation. Well, for Oregon, they start the season with two non-con. In between, you have a conference game. Um, okay, where do we do this? All right. So with this, sometimes this thing I'm trying to use. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't work. Okay, well, apparently it's not working. All right. Okay, well, that is great. Okay, here we go. All right. Oh, great. That covers that. That covers that. So I gotta read you this. No, I don't know why this is, but this is the Rutgers game here. I don't know why I covered it, so I'm gonna. I do apologize. I try to do my best to give it. Sometimes it doesn't work, and But anyways, the over under 10.5. I'm taking the over. This team can win 10 plus games. All right, so see the home against Montana State, then home against Oklahoma State. Oklahoma State, then go on the road. Northwestern, home against Oregon, home against NCAA against Oregon, Oregon State. Then you go on the road with Penn State. Had your first bye week. First bye you take a home against Rutgers. Then you go on the road against Rutgers. So home against Indiana, on the road against Rutgers. Home against Wisconsin on the bye week. On the road in Iowa. Home against Minnesota. Home against USC. On the road against Washington. There are a few games that like to stand out. Well, let's go give you a winner or loser for every game. The good news is you can start with a win, and you can start 3-0. Actually, you can start 4-0. Heading to the Penn State game. I think you'll beat Penn State. It's on the road. It's in a tough environment. Penn State, it's a good place to play. Could Oregon lose this game? Sure. I can see. I hope this is the type of game that Penn State and James Franklin just go over the home. You will beat Indiana. You'll beat Rutgers. You'll beat. Basically, you're undefeated. You're what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 2, 3. So you're 8-0, and your last what? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 5, 4 games. And bye week, after your bye week, go on the road in Iowa. Now, this is where it's tricky. This is a tough road game. This is a lot of times. Jim Harbaugh, and I quote, and then this is what top 10 teams. We've seen top 10 teams go on the road in Iowa and always put upset. It's the craziest thing you see. Um, so this part there. So they go home against Minnesota, home against USC, on the road against Washington. I'm sorry, but I want to give you. I don't know. I want to give you help, but I'm gonna another undefeated. Another undefeated. You know what? I'll give you one. But look, this is a tough game. This is gonna be a tough game. There's two tough games, and I'll point out both of them. One is the Iowa game and the Penn State game. Two good games that stick out to me. You get a bye week after the Penn State game, and you get a bye week after the Iowa game. which is crucial in this case for Oregon. Mighty Lord. You have two tough games. On the road at Iowa and on the road at Penn State. (12-0). Undefeated for the second year in a row. Probably make the Big Ten. Probably win again. And make the playoff. This team is capable of winning the Big Ten again. Capable of going further in the playoff. I feel this team can make win natty. This team is capable of winning a national championship. I'm not joking. I have high expectations for this team, for Oregon, and what Dan Lanning has done as a head coach. So I'm excited for him. For this team. And that's what I have to say for the Oregon Ducks of the Big Ten. Like and subscribe, hit the notification button. I'm Sports Talk 1. This video. Peace.